Hi and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to Origin of Concepts. In this episode, I'll continue the 12 labors of Heracles from Greek mythology. And we reach number 10, obtain the cattle of Geryon. The 10th labor of Heracles was to steal the red cattle of Geryon, a three-bodied giant living on the far western island of Erythea. After crossing the Libyan desert and obtaining Helios' golden cup for travel, Heracles killed the two-headed dog Orthros before slaying Geryon. He then drove the cattle back to Greece. Okay, there's a lot of information in this myth, so let's go to the Milky Way center and start the show. First of all, the guy Geryon means speech or voice, which is of course the great voice of the Milky Way center here, because he's a great god, so he's like he's not depicted in full form or anything. He's just described by the aspects of the Milky Way center. And Geryon means speech or voice, so the striped shadow here is the speech or the voice from the mouth, the sound wave, so to speak. So that's Geryon. And the red cattle is of course the striped shadows here. And the reason why they are red is because of the golden light in the Milky Way center from the disk. You know, golden is also red. And the red light is like emanating from the disk and runs through the striped shadow here. So the cattles are red. Very important. Nothing is left off for fun. Okay, we go on with the text here. Heracles had to cross the Libyan desert to reach the island of Erythea. On the way he became so frustrated at the heat that he aimed an arrow at the sun. So he shoot the sun right in the bullseye. Let's take a look at that story. First of all, the Libyan desert is the disk. This is always the desert. And the island of... Oh, give me a second here. I got this word control. Erythea. Yeah. The island of Erythea means the red one, or the blushing red one. So an island with the blushing red light. Let me guess. It's the Milky Way center with the golden disk light. Lighten it all up. So now we know where to find Erythea. The heat that hits Heracles is a metaphor of the golden light from the disk. So the red part of the Milky Way is of course the heat, which is radiated down through the striped shadow here, which by the way is a part of Heracles in the Greek mythology. His body, so to speak. I'll get into this in another video. So of course he's very hot. And then we got the arrow. He pointed at the sun, and the arrow is of course also the striped shadow here. And he shoot it directly into the sun. And the striped shadow is the arrow, of course. And the sun is the disk and not the physical sun. Just a good advice. Every time you read a myth and you hear the name sun and moon, never think about the physical sun and the moon. Just think of the disk in the Milky Way center as the sun, and the moon is the crescent here. This crescent with the silvery light from this shadow. Okay, that was a sidetrack. But here you see the arrow hits the sun. And the sun got Helios. This is Helios. Gives Heracles the golden cup that Helios used to sail across the sea. Okay, so let's find the golden cup. Helios is the golden disk in the Milky Way center, just to let you know. So now we have to find the cup, the golden cup. And where else to find a golden cup than here in the Milky Way center? And the cup is used by Helios here, the spirit disk light inside the golden cup, because of the golden disk light, and he is sailing around across the sea, and the sea is here in the background, this spot here. So here you got the entire story of that. And now Heracles may be sailing around there. When Heracles landed on Erythea, he was confronted with the two-headed dog Orthros. So let's take a look at this dog. The two-headed dog is the striped shadow. And in this striped shadow here, we got two dogs. Here we got one dog, and here we got another dog. So here we got the two dogs. Orthros. He's not a very big figure in the myth, but he's there, so it's important. With one blow from his olive wood club, Heracles killed the two dogs. Of course he did, because his club is the silvery shadow here. So he banged the two dogs right in the head. And the reason why they mention an olive wood club, there's always a reason. It's because the area, this specific area, got the olive color, and it's the part of the olive tree. Oh, sorry, it's not the olive tree here. The olive field. What did I write here? The olive grove, of course, because all the olive trees is the striped shadows here in the background. This is the olive grove. And and this is also in so many, every time you hear anything about olive trees or sycamore trees or trees generally, acacia trees, this is the area, this is the spot. This is the trunk of the tree here. And the crown is here for the most trees. Okay, let's move on. Geryon sprang into action, carrying 3 shields and 3 spears and wearing 3 helmets. And of course it's the same as the dogs here, because it's the striped shadow here. And here we got let's start with the helmets. 3 helmets here. We could use this shadows, or maybe they use this, don't care, but there's 3 of them. 3 shields and 3 spears is the shadows here. 1, 2, 3. There's maybe more, but at least 3. And then he also got shields, spears, and helmets. Yeah, it's the same. So you find it there. You know, this stripe shadow is always, there's like basically 8 or 9 stripes, and they are like put together in pairs like this. So that's the basic overall picture. If you look, if I mute it, you can see there's like 4 entities there, or 8 entities, or 9, whatever. It depends on the myth. But in this case, it's the Geryon helmets and spears and shields. Next text says, Heracles shoot Geryon with his poisoned arrow right in his forehead. And what you always need to know when we talk about mythology, every single time you hear the term forehead, then you know we are talking about this texture here, the outline of the entire Milky Way center. This is the forehead here. And Heracles shoot his arrow here, right into the forehead of Geryon. So here you got it. And it's bleeding into the stripe shadows, of course. Alright, I got one last thing. And this subject, Geryon bent his neck over to one side like a puppy that spoils its delicate shapes, shedding its pencil all at once. Yeah, and the puppy pencils, let me get my color here, is of course again the 3 dark shadows here in the Milky Way center, and with the disk here. No, sorry. No, sorry. I'm wrong. This is the not the puppies. The puppy pencils. Sorry, I have to redo this. Just forget everything about I said. The puppy pencils. You know, here you got the center of the flower. And here you got like 1 leaf. And here you got 1 more leaf. And here you got 1 more leaf. So here you got the puppy leaf, you know, that's falling off the flower. Sorry, and this is, by the way, also the lotus flower in many myths. So if I mute it here, you can see it looks like a flower with fading petals. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. And until the next video, take care. See you later. Bye.